What's that you're really stirring in your tea? Honey or bee vomit? The animal secretions that make you say yum tonight on the Six Ad Cast.
As I live and breathe, it is a Six Ad Cast for Thursday, April 16th, 2020. I'm sorry for that intro, Manuel. My name is Nick, and on my left, I'm joined by my good friend, Manuel.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And on my right is my other half. Her name is Sarah.
Hey.
And she's clutching her nice, fat cat, Kitty. Of all times, you don't want to meow now? Oh, my God. Of course they don't. Of course she won't. She wouldn't shut up before we started, and now she won't even talk.
Aww.
Yeah, now you got hair all over you. Sarah has found a Goth Spice black t-shirt. I don't know where it came from.
The closet. I've had it for several years now, actually. It's supposed to be one of those tunic shirts, meaning it's longer than a regular shirt, so you can wear it as a dress if you wanted to.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Stand up. I didn't even notice. It's for real? Stand up. Let me see.
It's just, I don't...
Oh, okay.
I didn't get the right size. And that's
I was going to say, man, that is a really, really short dress if that's how you chose to wear it.
Yeah.
Like, that's super...
Well, I'm not a skinny mini
Them cheeks,
either.
them nargas would be out and about.
Which would be acceptable if she's
Thanks,
going
honey.
out in some heels and stuff, you know? But
Yeah.
you probably wouldn't see Sarah for the rest of the night.
No. I mean, I would trust that, you know, she obviously isn't going to go do drugs or get drunk. So I'd be like, all right, Sarah, you go do that. I'm going to stay home and I'm going to play my game. It'll be
I
good.
like how you didn't say anything about...
Yeah, right?
What? I wouldn't see you for the rest of the night?
I'm glad that you trust that I won't drink or do drugs, but do you not trust me to not go have an affair or something?
I literally, that's what I was saying. It's like she's going to,
You could have added that too.
dancing.
No, because I would assume that you'd be going out with Wooter or something. And she seems more harmless than you.
One thing leads to another
I know.
sometimes.
One thing leads to another. You're going to end up at the Waffle House at 3 a.m.
House of Pies. You're very close. Okay, good. So he does trust me.
So, because it didn't even cross your mind.
And before that, you're going to be at a Buc-ee's getting snacks for the road.
Word.
Well, it didn't cross his mind. That you're right.
It didn't
That's
cross,
good.
it didn't cross my mind.
Good.
But did it not cross your mind? I'll drop it.
No.
Don't be starting shit, Manuel. You were fucking late.
She's good. What the shit that he's going to start is that you come home the next morning super early, wakes me up, and I'm like, you didn't even bring donuts? Who does that?
See, me feeling guilty for staying out that late, I would have thought that.
Boom. And see, I would be like, there you go. You're forgiven. Donuts. It's like, I had to sleep alone, which is not cool, but I got donuts at the end of it.
I couldn't hang. I could barely hang till midnight.
This is true. Yeah. Manuel, when was the last time you went to the club in high heels and let your nargas hang out?
That's so funny. I've never been to the club in high heels.
Okay.
He just went out last night.
So have you ever been to a place where your nargas was hanging out? Be honest.
No.
And he was like, when I was a kid, I wore a Halloween costume that was very form-fitting. Does that count?
No, but, you know, I have gone out and risque way.
You wore high waters?
No.
Okay.
He showed off them ankles.
Dude.
Yeah.
In this day and
I
age, you're
never
going to
do
show off some
the-
ankles?
I never do the chest thing or whatever, but there was one time I went with some friends and they were like, you should do this.
So he
And
had
I
his
did.
button down to his navel.
Till
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't even have hair now, so
Yeah.
back then it was like,
It was like a baby's behind the whole damn.
there was nothing.
He rubbed oil on it to make it shiny and
Yeah.
alluring because that's what women like.
Oh.
Shiny things.
Okay. And they can see this sort of stuff because one can assume that bars and clubs are poorly lit, loud music, you can't even hear yourself think. Or am I just thinking of what they show you on TV and movies?
No, that's
That's legit.
That's what it is? Okay. Yeah. Because I think I've been to like 2 clubs in my whole life, and one of them was for a wrestling show, so that also doesn't really count.
Aw.
They had converted the dance floor and put the ring there.
Didn't I
And so-
take you to a club once?
Was Doug and David with us?
No.
No? Because I remember going out with them to like a strip joint or something. I was the driver.
That doesn't count.
I was the
That doesn't count.
And then there was that time that we were out with a couple of other friends, and one of our members had gone into this house that was an Asian massage place or something.
Hell yeah. I mean,
And, you know,
Ew.
it happened. And
Yeah, you did share this story.
oh yeah. And I couldn't believe it, but it was so weird. Like they opened the front.
Hold on. You thought you were going to a club and ended
I don't know where I thought we were going to go, but I remember it was me, a guy, Brandon Threadgill, Doug was there, and I can't remember if Jim or David were there.
I thought you said Emar was there.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
My bad.
And
Sorry, Emar.
Brandon was the one that went into the house and had stuff happen to him.
And had a massage.
Yeah. It was so weird because we
full
thought...
body.
Yeah, we thought he's going to die because when he opened the door, there was this red light that came out from the thing. It was super creepy.
I don't like those red lights. Like, why do they?
I don't know why. I don't know. He went up to the second floor, went into some room. Some little lady walked in there. It happened, and then like 4 or 5 minutes later, he came back out. Maybe it was like 7. I'm not sure. But it wasn't much.
Those listeners who don't understand that Houston is the #1 sex trafficking city of probably.
But he didn't get sex trafficked. He got sexed, but he did not get trafficked because he came down to us. He came back down.
But what did he say happened? Because some people may not know.
He explained that he went in there and they did stuff to him.
But do you know what stuff? I mean,
was he sexually assaulted?
No, he was not assaulted. One can say
it was willing.
One can say he assaulted the poor little small Asian woman. Yeah.
Wow.
What?
Yeah. It was,
okay. Wow.
Yeah, and this house was a 2-story. Oh God, I swear it was like an open area, and then there was like this patch of a parking lot.
How much?
And then there was this little house.
Manuel.
If I had to guess, I want to say it was like
a bit.
If I had to guess, if I can remember correctly, I want to say the price tag was in the ballpark of at least $60. And I remember owing him $20.
That's why I'm asking
for 7 minutes.
Well, it was to completion.
It could have gone on like 20 minutes. But...
Yeah, I know, but it had been a while, and he went in there, and it happened very quickly. It happened.
Gross.
That was part of the deal, and I remember owing him some money, so I was like, "Oh yeah, I owe you some cash. Here, if you want to go blow it on this weird opportunity, then you can so be it. But at least me and you are square, and I don't owe you money anymore." I owed him like $15.
That's why I was asking, because it seems like it was a long time ago. So I'm not saying he wasn't banking, but probably not. And so usually,
he didn't have that cash to just drop right there. So like the people in the vehicle were like, "I can give you this, I can give you that," and then he was like, "Okay, I can cover the difference now. Now it's not $60. Now the difference is like $25."
To have sex, right? Because before you cleared that up. I thought he got his
like a massage.
We thought he got polished.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
no.
all I thought. Then I was like, he fucked, and you're like, yeah. I'm like, what? So then, because that would be, I think, more money, right? Like,
no, not for those.
Dude, this house, you could I felt it was haunted first, and then when I saw that it was an operating business of some sort, I thought, wait, people don't live here? This is a creepy house if people live here. And then it was a business, and I was like, oh man,
it is a place of business.
This is a place of business. The Hourglass, the bar here in town. Imagine that if that was a house and it felt like the Hourglass. Ew. That's the type of environment that I felt this place just evoked.
I'm sure the prices have seriously gone up, because a 1 hour massage is $60, and that's like when you go to just a regular massage, like no polish.
Well, one can assume that if you go to a place of service like that and you are to pay to have an act done to you to completion, one can assume that it would be more than.
Now it definitely would be more.
The place would have looked a little bit more respectable, Yeah. But if you go to like a nice bar, you're paying $8 for a drink, and then if you just go to a hole in the wall, you're paying $1.50 for a drink. Think of it like that.
Yeah, and also thinking like this was 20 years ago, so.
God damn, how long ago was this?
It wasn't 20, but
it wasn't
exaggerating.
20, but it was at least 12. Mm-hmm. It was a long time ago. If it's hard for me to even remember who was all there. It was such a weird experience. And I could not even tell you where this place was. I don't even think I ever saw the place again.
It's just down Airport Boulevard or something?
It's just somewhere in Houston. If my life depended on it, I'd be like, just put the gun to my head. I can't figure this out. I don't know where this place is.
They're like, but I'm going to kill you if you don't tell me. Just tell me.
And I'd be like,
bro, I am not keeping it from you. I do not know where.
Good God.
Probably has an STD now.
No, I'm sure they use protection.
I believe there was protection involved.
Okay, I was like, I'm sure
it can still be transmitted even when wearing protection, y'all.
Well, I wasn't in there.
It's a small possibility.
I can only go by what I saw, which was a bright red light, creepy thing. He did say that there were more people in the house, even though there was like no cars in the parking lot.
Yeah, ready to work.
He said he walked in
all
and to the
those
right.
poor people were literally just dropped off there. They're not allowed to go anywhere. And
The people polishing.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they have to be inconspicuous. Is that the word?
Sure.
Okay.
That is a good word.
Wow. So we were enablers.
Yeah.
We
Good
fed
job.
the problem. Well, I
You
didn't.
gave him dirty money.
I gave him the money that I owed him.
That
What-
became dirty money.
What he
I was
chose
about
to
to say
do
it
with
was
it
clean
was,
when they gave it to her.
yeah. What he chose to do with the money is his business. I didn't think he was going to go through with it. I wanted to leave because I was like, dude, this place is fucking creepy. You know, damn it. In the time of my life, that was a weird place.
How many tattoos did you have then?
None. I don't think I had one.
I think
that
you
time.
had the Ashley one for sure.
Yeah, the very first. Well, okay, I don't have Ashley tattooed on me. I have a number 20 because of her. She tattooed a number on her, and she bought the tattoo. So I was like, okay, maybe, but for sure, if I had a tattoo, it was just the one, that one. Mm-hmm. And that was a long time ago.
All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Sarah's like, I've never heard the story.
I have, and I hate these talks.
All right.
I bet you right now it's the most listens we had.
Oh, wow.
And they're about to tune out.
They're like, well, they're checking out. You know, they're not, unless they're going to talk about sex. I'm checking out. Wow. Sarah, how are you enjoying Community so far?
I love Community.
It's just so great.
We haven't started. We're on season 2, but we need to start episode 14.
Yeah, we're just cruising along through and they did a
Binging it?
yeah, they're because we're still in lockdown, quarantine, or whatever this is. The pandemic. Then we're going to the pandemic. So we're binging Community, and we got to season 2. I forget what the episode was, but there was a Christmas episode that was a stop motion animation episode.
I think that was 13.
Was it 13 or 12 or something?
I can't remember when the pen episode was,
Oh, I don't know when that pen episode. That was a funny episode.
but I think it was 13.
Yeah. So it was a Christmas special episode, but they were all like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer type of claymation. And so when I messaged my friend Kettler, who turned me on to this show, and I'd always wanted to try it, he told me about a Muppet episode. And I was like, wait, is that what this episode is? And he goes, no, this is a Christmas episode. I think. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I want to say there is a Muppet episode later. Because there's a character in here named Abed who relates everything to television and movies. And in one of the episodes, I thought it was so funny. He was like, oh, this is a bottle episode. And it was the pen episode, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, they're like, no, it's not a bottle episode. Stop saying stuff like that. And it was a contained episode to this one room because one of the members had lost a pen and they were going to find this pen. And I was like, this is a bottle episode. It affects nothing of the rest of the show. This is hilarious. So yeah,
That's a cool name.
I highly recommend Community. Manuel, what are you binging right now?
Unfortunately, I find myself watching Judge Judy, and I'm like, I try to move away. I try.
Wow. What is she on, like season 30 or something?
I don't know. But since it's on demand, I don't have to withstand commercials. I don't have to it's case after case after case.
Jesus.
I wonder when that lady's finally going to hang up her robes. I mean, she's been at this a long time. When I was a child, my mom was watching Judge Judy.
Yeah.
And then as I grew older and I would be like in my high school years, she would air like on UPN 20 like at midnight or something. And so I would watch an episode or two of Judge Judy right before I crashed out to go to bed.
What is it about? Like, is this like Forensic Files for you? Like,
No.
if you watch it, you can stop.
At that time, I didn't have cable in my room, and I was limited to Fox, ABC, NBC, whatever they're airing at midnight or whatever. Or I could go to Channel 51 or UPN and maybe watch something halfway interesting like Martin or Judge Judy. Mm-hmm. And so I'd be like, oh, I'm going to watch Judge Judy tonight. It's that sort of stuff. But my life changed when I finally got cable in my bedroom, because then those days ended. And I'm like, dude, I got real television now. I could watch Late Night Home Improvement on Nick at Night or something. So a couple of days ago, me and Sarah found ourselves watching a whole plethora of horror related stuff. She's subscribed on YouTube to this channel called Mindseed TV. Do you know who these guys are?
Mm-mm.
They're amazing.
What is this?
Mindseed TV.
Yeah. So these are some of the guys that go and they did the famous dark web mystery boxes.
And it started off with just this one guy. His name's Casey. And so he has a few, what would you call it, honey? Titled segments that he'll do. So like the dark web mystery boxes, the hunting purgatory, which he goes to haunted locations. He started off with one friend, but I don't know what happened to that friend. So now he's with this guy named Tanner. And then he started doing the dark web mystery boxes with him. Because I think the first one we saw, he did it with his girl. It was his friend or something.
Maybe. He's done several of these.
Yeah, and she got freaked out by it.
Yeah. Have you ever watched one of those dark web mystery boxes?
That's what I was going to say. So dark web, we're kind of...
They're sketchy.
That's kind of out in the open now?
Yeah, you spend like $50 or $100 depending on the severity of the box, and you just get random stuff from the dark web. And a lot of it is creepy because it would involve like children's clothing, and you don't know if these are tied to missing people, and these are articles that belonged to them.
Missing people that no longer require them.
Yeah.
But I think one time we saw a guy, he unboxed several boxes, and he got like a brand new Xbox or something.
Oh yeah, like sometimes you just get random electronic shit. And this dude did get a brand new Xbox. That
is not dark
quote
web.
Fell off the truck.
That's why it was dark.
Yeah.
The deep web then.
There was.
He didn't get to that layer yet.
There was a video of a guy who was, I don't know, his dark web unboxing wasn't all that bad, but he did get this sick, like chest that. I don't know if it was like made out of leather or nice wood, but when you opened it, the inside stank. I don't even remember if there was anything inside it, but he said it smelled like mold.
Do you think it was that guy?
I don't know who it was. But that little box thing, I was like, dude, all you got to do is just like clean it and then let it air outside, and you got yourself a sick little chest. And I was like, yo, dude, you spent that chest alone was probably worth $150, and he spent, I don't know, $100 on this box and got a bunch of other crap.
What's the creepiest thing y'all seen on that?
The creepiest thing was the video that we saw the other night where he went to this haunted mansion. What was it, like a plantation?
So it started off with,
the one from the other day.
That was a haunted location.
Yeah, that's the creepiest thing that I've ever seen from that guy's channel.
I'm sorry. I thought he was still... Were you still talking about the dark web boxes?
I was, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
But so something scary got you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then we just went down and just watched more and more scary stuff. And we shouldn't have.
Number 5.
Yeah. But the dark web mystery box, so he started off with one, and it's a 3-part. So he got this box, and it has a couple of children's clothing. It had some dolls with symbolic messaging on it. So either how they were tied up or what have you. And then I can't remember if a videotape came in that, or he was able to figure out later on with more investigation where this case possibly was, went to the location, found a tape, got it restored, watched the tape. So that was part 2. And then part 3, they went back to that place and found another tape. But this is now, it's so accurate, or so with the time, that we have to wait for a part 4 because it's too hard to, with what's going on, to get that tape restored.
Yeah.
So it's like, holy shit.
Something in the box had GPS coordinates. So then when they looked at the GPS coordinates, they found this was like out in the middle of the woods or something like that. And so him and a buddy went to that exact location in the woods, and they found an abandoned trailer. So they went in the trailer, and there was like children's clothes and children's shoes just everywhere. And the floor was falling out. Like, this place was the shits. And they found a videotape, brought it with them. And watching someone restore a videotape, I didn't know what went into that. I didn't know if you could. I was like, dude, that's in bad shape. I mean, you could open it and try to clean it. But no, these guys had some sort of solution that they would then dip and wash the film. And the guy completely disassembled it and then reassembled it with a new shell.
Once, yeah.
I think. So he threw away the old shell, cleaned the film, and then was able to rewind and put it in. And they watched the tape. And, oh man, it's such a cliffhanger for the poor bastard who had to do the job, because the video showed someone out in the middle of the woods burying what looks to be a body. And they recorded it. And then the film ends. And so then we cut to back in the room, and the poor guy is holding like the play button, and he's looking back at the camera like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Right.
And then that's the end of the video. And I was like, Sarah, what the fuck? You can't just, what?
I know. But then we just watched part 3.
Yeah. And then we went and watched, and they went to this haunted mansion of some sort, and bro.
It was in Alabama. It was a beautiful house, but it was haunted as fuck.
Man, there was some stuff. As soon as they walked in, they could hear music, and then the music stops. Some sort of music coming from upstairs. And then they heard footsteps upstairs when they were downstairs. And then when they were upstairs, they hear footsteps above them in the attic and stuff.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. Yes. And then at some point, they hear music again or some sort of rhythmic thing, and it's coming from the old record player.
That was scary.
Legitimately scary.
I want to see this.
1900s record player just starts playing on its own, and you still have the vinyl on it. It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, and of course there's doors opening. Dude, there was a mannequin that was down in the basement that it didn't have an arms or a head or like legs. It's just kind of like the body. Okay, so they're in the basement, and the mannequin was situated originally in front of like a random door or the door that they used to come in, and they didn't move it. They then went and searched the rest of the basement, came back, and the mannequin was no longer in front of the door, but like 10 feet away from it. And the guy was did that mannequin move? And then I think they showed like a replay of where the original mannequin was. And I was like, dude, that thing fucking moved when they were down there, and they didn't even hear it.
Were there cuts though? Like, I don't know, that I'd have to see it.
I don't know. Were there cuts when they were down? No, I don't think when they were down in the basement. Oh, maybe. Because they would cut from camera to camera because each of them had a camera.
Mm-hmm. And it was just the two of them, which is what I prefer. Is just
instead of 7 people.
Yeah.
Instead of them and a third
That's
camera guy.
That's why I really like Ghost Adventures, because they still, even to this day, still stick to the 4 of them or 2 of them or separate. Mm-hmm. And I really like that. So any other production company is waiting outside in their vans.
Whereas when I preferred Ghost Hunters, it was the investigators, and they were always usually followed by a third person who was the camera guy or the sound guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Can't trust him.
Yeah, you can't trust him. Dude, and then they went up into the attic and they heard wailing, like someone screaming or something coming from down below in the house. And it was resonating up through the attic. And bro. So then we decided, it would be a good idea to just keep going with this. So then we watched Mr. Nightmare, and he did 3 stories of people in quarantine. And then we decided, let's go. You remember that Hell House LLC that we watched about a year ago, whatever it was? There's 2 more. Let's start watching those. So we turned on Shudder, and we watched those 2 movies back to back. And the Hell House movies are about a hotel called the Abaddon Hotel. And it had been shut down. And then in the first Hell House movie, these group of young people decided to come in and turn it into a haunted house for Halloween. But the hotel itself is haunted. So when they're setting up shop, weird things happen, and then it's like black magic and all this other crap. It was a really good found footage horror movie, and then they did 2 more, and so that's what we watched to get the rest of the story.
Man, that sounds great, actually.
Actually, it was not great, because when it came time to when everything ended, it was at midnight or 12:30 or something like that.
That's what makes it great.
I know. Then it was like, I need to go take a shower. We need to go to sleep. And then we ended up falling asleep out here in the living room. And then it's, this is the big house. And it just felt falling asleep on the couch is one thing. We do that quite often. But that night,
did you feel watched?
Weird. It felt weird.
No, we actually went to sleep in bed. I plugged in the Lego light that I haven't needed for a while. But I'm like, I don't care if it's in my face. I need a nightlight.
Okay, so we went to bed. Whatever it was, it felt weird, and I didn't feel. After my shower, I'm the one that checks the locks and all that stuff. When I was over here checking this door, I was like, something's not right, and I don't know what it is. And so I thought, should I check the media room? No, Nick, don't check the media room. You're being stupid. I went and checked the front door. I'm like, of course it's locked. I checked it hours ago. And then I was walking through the house, and I thought,
that was really good in Conjuring. Whenever he went downstairs after the alarm went off and the door was open.
Oh, bro.
Dude, that's awesome. So then, if you would have found the door open, wouldn't you freak out?
I would have freaked out.
Because you're like, I locked it, I checked it was locked, and now it's open. It's not even
I
unlocked.
would have broke lease. I would have been later days. Because I even saged this place. Bye.
Bye.
So, okay.
No, thank you, bye.
So let's go with that. If that was to happen, if I was over here and you were in the bedroom and I know I locked that door, let's say I checked that door first, go to the back, check this door, I turn around and come through the house and I see the front door is wide open and you're still in the bedroom. And I tell you, and you're like, what? Okay, so we would run away. Do we go to the neighbors, our landlords, and we'd be like, yo, we're going to knock on their door and be like, yo, we out. Or what do we do?
Well,
we could just call the cops.
In that moment, you do have to get out because obviously somebody opened the door and you don't know if they're in here.
Yeah.
It could be a hobo. Or it could have been a possum.
Yes, because
the door?
The 3 possums stand on top of each other and they open the door.
Hey, man.
It's probably the same possum that got mad because he fell through our attic. Then we kicked him out.
So they've been plotting on how to... we're going to get them tonight. Tonight's the night.
They even befriended a raccoon.
Oh, man.
They
Oh, yeah,
needed the
because
skill set.
they're the ones that are going to turn the doorknob because they have hands.
So 2 possums and the raccoon is the one at the top that can turn the knob.
Yeah,
And then
2 possums and a raccoon walk into a bar.
the possums are going to scare us away. And then they're going to be like, all right, Mr. Raccoon, go into the what they call the kitchen, and you could have all the what they call food. And he's like, squeak, squeak, squeak. And he runs, and then he uses his little freaky little trash panda hands to open stuff.
No.
Wow.
And that was our week. That's what we did.
So something similar happened like that at the house.
You watched a bunch of stuff and scared yourself?
Okay, leading up to the big thing, which the big thing was we were watching, my buddy Javier and his wife were over, and we were watching Paranormal Activity 6 because we had just watched it the other day. Remember with the boys, we binged it, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
And so when I rewatched it, I don't know if I told you that I was like, man, this is actually pretty good. And so because it was pretty good, I was like, I suggested it, and they were like, yeah, remind us what it's about. And I told them, and they're like, let's watch it. We haven't seen it in a long time. And as we were watching it, they were like, yeah, I don't remember any of this.
This
kind of like
part 2?
No, the last one, part 6.
Oh, okay.
And so as they were watching, they're like, yeah, I don't remember any of this, blah, blah, blah. Kind of like how I felt, which is why I thought the movie was actually pretty good. I was like, wow, this is really good.
How do you not remember that? You saw that. I saw that with you.
Yeah, but it was just in the movies. And so I didn't remember. Okay. Do you remember how it ends?
But I also couldn't tell you how any of those movies end, except for the first one.
Mm-hmm. The iconic one.
Yeah, because I don't know.
So tell me why we're watching it, and then for some reason there's like some noises in the kitchen, but like ice making noises. So it's like, oh, okay, well that's just the normal ice making noises. But then it continues to happen, and like for like long periods of time. And I'm like, that's literally never happened, but maybe we just used more ice today. And so like ice dropping.
Yeah.
And then I keep looking at the kitchen because I feel like someone is just walking around like the island in the kitchen. And I don't think we even got to the middle of the movie. Because his wife kept thinking like there was somebody. She was looking down. She was looking straight at the TV so she could see the aisle where it's just pitch dark. And I wanted everything to be dark so that you get the feel of the movie.
So she's sitting at the left of the TV looking down the
Not
hallway?
that aisle, the other hallway that leads to the front door.
To the front door.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
Yeah. And so she eventually told us, like, I know I don't see anything, but I feel like something's there. And so then eventually we had to stop the movie because she was very scared. I wasn't freaked out. I just wanted to know what happened. And Javier too, he was like, this is unexplainable. But in the middle of the movie, something was thrown to the corner by the TV. Like, we don't know what flew, what fell, what something, but it felt like something was thrown towards the corner.
Okay.
Loud enough that we had to pause the movie, get up, and like, well, what was that? What just happened? So we went, and there was a pen on the ground, but there wasn't any pens on the table because earlier I had adjusted the lights from where that table was at. And so when we put the pen back on the table, and with the bass going, I was like, maybe the bass of the movie and the surround sounds. We put the pen on the table, kind of dangling, and I rewinded it to the part where it was like there was a lot of bass. That pen didn't move.
Dang.
So I put it on the side, and then I was like, okay, let me put it half out, half in.
Yeah.
And with the grip outside, like it does not touch the table. And so I did that. It did not move.
Because the bass just was not going to move it.
No, it wouldn't have been. But even then, it didn't sound like something dropped.
Like it sounded like something threw.
Right. It was like if I would have thrown this to that corner, like, wow. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, okay. So it sounded as though it even had more weight than a pin. Or a pin thrown with a lot of force.
Right. And so obviously Javier and I are just trying to make sense of the situation, right?
Yeah.
Immediately, we're not trying to sage the house. Like, it's just like, what happened? What was that? How could this have happened? So I started playing the movie for another minute or so, but we just decided to call it because, it was
something like that happens,
an uneasy feeling.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say, like, okay, obviously there was she didn't actually see anything or whatever. I thought you were going to tell me that she felt like she saw something move and maybe something, grab around the corner. What video was it where we were, it was still in that Mind Siege video.
It was in that same
at
house.
the haunted mansion. They later went to sleep in the mansion, so they set up a couple of static cameras, and in one of these rooms there was an open door, and a weird looking hand is seen across the room reach around the frame of the door, and then it disappeared. Like it came, and like the fingers seemed weird and long, and they didn't seem right, and then it just went away, and that was also, I was like, oh my god, dude.
Okay, that's
so
great.
Fucking creepy.
You need to link me, and I'll put these links on Twitter so everybody sees what you guys have seen.
Man, such good stuff out there, but such a bad idea to do it in bulk, because you kind of overload.
Well, once you start finding good stuff, you don't want to stop.
Yeah, and then we even watched 2 episodes of Community, and that still didn't do.
That didn't help.
Yeah, it didn't do what it did. I told her several years ago for a Black Friday, I went and bought the Lords of Salem Rob Zombie movie, which is about witchcraft. And so later that night, I watch it, really like the movie, but it messed me up because witchcraft is real and that sort of stuff it can't happen. I mean, it could maybe because it's black magic.
It happens.
It just seems more real than, a crazy killer like Michael Myers. I'm like, all right, so this is real. Scary. It messed me up. And I told her, I said, after that movie was done, I wanted to go to bed. I was like, I can't go to bed after watching that. And there's probably people like, The Lords of Salem is such a pussy movie. I ended up watching a couple of episodes of the Powerpuff Girls when they were still on Netflix.
Oh my gosh.
I love the Powerpuff Girls, man. That was a good show.
What are some examples of black magic that you have you personally witnessed or heard of any of the?
No, I've never been a part of. I've never witnessed any type of black magic. It's only been in YouTube videos, movies, and television.
But what do you know about black magic? Or which one interests you the most that you've seen that?
I guess it would have to be witchcraft, like Hereditary and Lords of Salem and Midsummer.
Okay,
it deals with
like they do seance and they talk to the dead.
I guess
They invite the dead.
No, it's like a sacrificial thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and you don't know until the end of the movie. So you see all this weird behavior escalating, and it seems very possessive. And then you finally see why it started to morph into that.
Yeah.
And it always ends up having to be a sacrifice.
Yeah. And in Lords of Salem, it was more gimmicky. There was a scene where, this girl lives in an apartment building, and at the end of the hall is a room that doesn't seem to have a number, and you never see the tenant of that room. And the old ladies that are in the movie apparently have access to that room, and that's where they go and they do stuff. And the door would open, and the room is dark or whatever. But then the Sherry Moon zombie sees the door open at one time, and she's having like a trance, and there's this red light coming from the room. And so now I'm like, I need to know what's in this fucking room, because even if I saw something like that in real life, I feel like I would have to see what it is. Even though I know I'd be so scared, I'd probably just peek and then run away. Well, she goes into this room, and there's this LED red cross, right? And it's on the wall, and it's waving, like when you see heat coming off of pavement. And the way they executed the movie, I watched it with the commentary, is Rob had said that they lit a flame in front of the lens underneath, so it gives that wavy effect. And it gave the illusion that this red LED cross is emanating a lot of heat.
Hot.
And so then, Sherry Zombie, she holds up her hands like she's going to try to reach out or touch the thing. And then they cut to a side shot, and she's like from here to that wall. And I'm like, okay, so this room is kind of big. And she's just, praising this weird LED cross that's on the wall. And then, bro, all of a sudden, this like Bigfoot-looking Yeti thing walks into frame behind her. And like we're looking at it from between its legs, or one leg, and that's an arm. And I'm just like, what the fuck is that thing? And they never show what it is. And she doesn't know that it's there.
Yeah.
And then cut, and she's back in bed. And then I'm like, was that a fucking dream, or did that actually happen? Like, what is this? it's stuff like that that really starts to creep me out.
There's a guy who said he died and went to hell 23 minutes. If you guys look it up, it says it's called 23 Minutes in Hell.
I think you read that book.
I did. I listened to it on Audible, and I had
What's
read
his name?
I don't know. It's been long,
okay.
but I've heard that story, and it's a very compelling story.
Yeah, bro. He mentions the Bible a lot, right?
Yeah.
And to kind of coordinate or correlate like what hell is supposed to be like. And he said that the demon he was trapped in hell with was destroying his body or something. But he said that this thing was huge. Yeah. Like it wasn't our size. Like it's like and obviously like if you look at us, our eyes are even. We have half of this, half that. Yeah. If you cut us in half, like we're evenly distributed, most of us. Yeah. And so, but he said that was like one of those things that the demons are uneven. They're not perfect like we are. Like it's and they're really tall. So when you're describing that Yeti type of figure, I think that's
And I want to say in that story of 23 Minutes in Hell, he describes large like amphibian type lizard demons. He refers to them as demons, but they seem to be lizard like. Yeah. So like their arms are really long and they have really long claws, and when they walk they drag. And I'm like, okay, so I can try to piece together mentally, because the man's not a writer. Yeah. He's just articulating what a normal guy would think. Like if it was Stephen King describing it, you'd get the picture. But that's not who this guy. And when he wrote the book 23 Minutes in Hell, that's how it reads. Yeah. Like a normal guy trying to recount what he saw, and he's not a writer. He doesn't have the words to describe it.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell you what I saw in my point of view.
Yeah, and when he described the lake of fire as being
a literal fire,
like you crest a hill of some sort, and then it's just like an ocean of fire, and you can see way in the flames that are dancing slowly because it's just so much. You can see like ghostly wisps that are being dropped into it and coming out of it or something like that, and those are supposed to be like more spirits being put into the lake of fire and all that. And he described sulfur being the smell of hell. And I told Sarah, I don't know what had got us onto that humans can withstand a lot of terrible smells, but the one smell we can't for long periods of time is the smell of sulfur. And then he talked about the gravity in hell, that everything just feels like it's like a ton. And even though there was nothing physically on him, the gravitational pull, it felt
was
like
so hard to move.
He was like, if I moved 3 inches, it felt like I ran 10 miles. Like that's how heavy everything was down in there. And I was like, holy crap. And time is different there. This whole experience was like 23 minutes in our time.
He knew because of what he saw.
Yeah, but while he's there, it feels like that's how it feels like an eternity. Because time is relative here, but it's not down there.
And that's why when people talk about, like, I know I mentioned the tribulation and the rapture and stuff, and it talks about 6 or 7 years of tribulation. We don't know how long really that means or what God meant when he said that. But the reason I asked you about the black magic was because, like, I've been exposed to a few things with like witchcraft and stuff like that, but like the ones that are interesting to me are the ones where you've heard about the egg, right?
Oh yeah.
So but like then sometimes you need answers as to who did something. Let's say somebody stole your wallet, like someone stole your wallet and you think it's somebody so then you go to these people and they're able to like use an egg, crack it, do a small ritual, and then once they crack the egg and put it in a cup, they'll show you the face of the person who took your wallet.
Yeah. Oh shit. See, I'd never heard that, but I heard that like they rub the egg on you and then they crack it and it comes out black.
Yeah.
That is the
typical cleanse.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, it sucks the bad mojo out of you, puts it in the egg, and then spits it out. I was like, okay. But see, there's a part of me that thinks, oh, you just picked the bad egg out of 12,000 eggs that were plucked from that farm or whatever. But then it's like, what are the chances that that's the one egg that shipped to the store that you grabbed, that then when y'all conducted this experiment, that's the one egg that this person grabs, and it just so happens to be raw or rotten? Like there's always going to be that level of doubt for me, unless it's like, can we do it again? Can you...
dude, this skepticism obviously is there.
Yeah,
right?
but the percentage of that actually happening is so low, though.
So I'll tell you what made me a believer, like immediately, the egg they were about to use, and it wasn't planned or anything, the egg that they were about to use was dropped. It was white. Like, it was dropped, and it was completely normal egg.
Okay.
They grabbed another one, and when they were done with the cleansing, it was black.
Dang. Sarah, have you ever experienced any type of cleanse or anything?
No.
No? Okay. But you've heard of the egg thing?
I actually have not.
Really?
The cleansing or the other one?
I think both.
Oh.
I just know if you get a bloody egg, that's not very good.
Oh. You know, what happens if you get a bloody egg?
I think that's just something else.
Oh.
Dang, I don't know.
I've never heard of the bloody egg,
No,
but I figured if you got one...
I mean, if you crack an egg and you have a little bit of blood in it, it's not good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That shouldn't be good. You know, you got to throw that away and be like, God damn it, now I got to start this omelet over again.
I've seen it to where they do it and they crack it and it's clean. It's like, no, you're not. You're good. Like, you know.
And then y'all enjoy a nice omelet. Gotcha.
You have to. No, but when I saw somebody's face, I actually saw somebody's face. Like, it wasn't an HD picture. But
Okay.
you could clearly see a woman's face form in that egg. And I was like,
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I think of
probably-
obscure images of like someone's face, for whatever reason, ever since I saw it in the movie, when Harry Potter talks to Sirius Black through the fire, okay, is it like that? I mean, you could see his face through the dancing flames. It's not a clear image, but you know that's Sirius Black. Is it like that? Or was it in the other movie when his face came out of the embers?
It's like that. That's more... no, the embers.
The embers.
That's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's like that. Okay, both of which
So where
are,
you can tell
it's him.
that's a face. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
Wow.
like, if it was me who took your wallet and you start to look at it and you're like, well, I have suspicions, but I don't know. And then you start to look at it and it's like, oh, that's David's face.
Oh, I thought you were going to say is like that would be you, and I'm like, I know that fucking man bun anywhere.
Oh yeah, something pretty unique. It's like that's David's face, but why would he do that?
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like these are, and so I'm like, man, but is that even accurate, or is that just us trying to fit the mold? Like I don't know.
And then it's like, stop that man, he has my wallet, and David suddenly just flips and he goes, huh? And then he just dives out the window.
He has a gun,
and then he
puts it
takes
to his head.
Wow.
He's like.
And then our landlords are like, hey, if y'all are gonna fire guns, just make sure that you don't splatter onto the pavement of the sidewalk. Otherwise,
that's what they're worried about.
Yeah, I mean, because man, it's a prize sidewalk, bro.
Oh man, that's interesting.
Did you guys see that footage of Ezra Miller that I'd sent you guys?
I had seen that before you.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I didn't say anything, and I meant to tell you seen this.
Yeah, Ezra Miller was in hot water after a viral video of him choking a woman. This is non-news news. I'm going to go ahead and insert the audio of the video because it's like, 7 seconds?
Learn it? Did you want to fight? Is that the deal? Whoa, bro. Fight?
The incident occurred at a bar in Iceland. And, the video shows Ezra getting into some sort of verbal confrontation with a woman.
For those of you who don't know who Ezra is, he plays the Flash, and he's been in other movies such as Birds of a Wildflower.
Yeah, and he's also in the Fantastic Beast movies, but I don't know the name of the character that he plays.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is the Flash right now in the DC Extended Universe.
Good looking guy.
Yeah, after the video began making its rounds online, fans began demanding on social media that Miller be pulled from his role as the Flash, and soon after that, reports began to suggest that the new Flash movie may not even happen. It has been reported that Miller's actions taken in the video are being taken very seriously by the movie studio. There is an investigation taking place against Miller to probe the entire incident that took place. Miller was escorted off the premises following the incident. There has been no word if any injuries were suffered. So what happens here is this lady is like waving her arms for whatever reason. We don't know what happened.
There's no context.
She's waving her arms and she looks very happy to see Ezra Miller. And then Ezra is like, do you want to fight? And then he grabs her by the throat and then they go to the ground. And the person recording the video is like, whoa, and then it stops.
I just don't like it. It almost seems not real.
That's what I was telling Nick. So I automatically noticed she was wearing a turtleneck, so it's obviously cold weather.
It was in Iceland.
I assume it's automatically cold every time. But it didn't seem real. And I told him his friend's reaction for where she falls to the ground didn't seem as freaked out as I imagine anybody else would be. He was just like, hey, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It was very chill.
And he's on drugs or something. Like he's like not in full control of himself. Like he's doing it, but very sloppy.
I don't know, man.
And then the girl was laughing.
Yeah, because I don't know what she was dancing around for, waving her arms, and then for him to just declare, "Do you want to fight?" And then he grabs her, and then before you know it, they're both going to the ground, and the video stops.
Can we go back to when Ariana just like licked the donut or something, or Bieber peed in a bucket, a mop bucket? You know?
Did he really?
He did.
Like, where was this at? Like at a high school, and he was like, "Oh, look, here's a slop bucket. I'm gonna pee in it."
It was like a restaurant or bar, and they had the mop bucket like close to the exit, and on his way out, he peed.
Wow. Yeah, so he just whips his dick out. Okay, that's cool. He's like, "I'm famous. Whatever. I can whip my dick out."
We've all seen his dick.
I've never seen his dick.
Yes, you have. I posted it on the thread.
I thought that was Tom Riddle's dick. Not Tom Riddle. Matt Riddle's dick.
Tom Riddle's not a real person.
Yeah, Tom Riddle's not. That's Lord Voldemort.
I've never seen Matt Riddle's dick.
And apparently a woman saw Lord Voldemort's dick because in the 8th Harry Potter book, the play, he has a kid. Don't know when that happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, this took...
Yeah,
wow,
you're like, wait, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, the stage play,
Yeah.
that's canon. Voldemort has a kid. And I'm, yes, of course. Don't know when.
And of course the movies aren't going to follow it.
No. But I would like them to at least rewrite the script as a book. Doesn't have to be a thick book, but it's hard to read
just
a play,
yeah.
a script. You know, there's no context to internal thinking or whatever. You know, it's...
I know I posted it because Jimmy, you know how you post stuff on WhatsApp, images?
Yeah.
When you pull up your images later, all your images from WhatsApp, everything's like bunched up in there.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy, I remember, complained because he was doing something with Canista and he opened up the images and Beaver, naked Beaver was there. And he was like, fucking Manuel.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I don't remember seeing a dick, but you know, then again, in our chat thread, we have seen our fair share of
that
penises.
guy got punched in the train, dude.
Oh,
That was
what?
the guy who got punched in the train.
What? Explain. Well, are they like just in a train and some dudes started fighting each other?
Yeah, the drunk guy is like looking over some black guy, and he's like, "What do you want?"
Oh,
yeah, that's right. And then he's like, "Man, sit down, bro. Sit down."
Yeah.
And then he doesn't. So then he calmly puts away something in his coat.
Yeah.
Gets up and pushes the guy down, and then one punch out.
Well, the guy was reaching for a pair of scissors.
Oh, I didn't see
You
that.
didn't see that?
I did not.
Oh my god.
See
Okay,
that. I
Sarah,
just was
these
like,
guys,
what?
there is like a weird altercation on the subway or whatever, and this guy sitting down is like telling this dude, and he's like, "Dude, just sit down." The dude sits down next to him, and the whole time he's like fiddling with his pockets, and he pulls out a pair of scissors. He then stands up or something.
That triggers him then.
Yeah,
Okay.
like,
I didn't know what triggered
when the
him.
dude saw him with an object, the guy quickly stood up and like punched the guy. He couldn't even get out of his chair. He punched him, and his head bounces off the wall of the subway.
He
He's done.
punched his head into the train.
Yeah, the dude was out,
Bleeding everywhere.
He then crumples.
He deserved
and
it.
you can see blood on
He
the seat.
he did. Like,
Yeah.
this is completely warranted.
Yeah, and then you can just see the scissors in the dude's lap. Like, dude, he was pulling those things out to shank this guy.
He
This
must
guy.
have been high too.
God.
It's just always so interesting when like things are warranted like this, but then they don't meet that like level of satisfaction. Like it's just like stop or like, you know, it doesn't escalate. That was like completely satisfying, probably just a little bit overdone.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, but he
Yeah.
was trying to pull a weapon.
Yeah.
Okay, so is this Flash movie ever going to get made? They keep losing directors, and now if the studio takes this to the next level, they might just pull the plug entirely and be like, you know what? Fuck this movie. It's
Zack Ryder doesn't want to do it.
Sarah. Do you think?
I'm just kidding.
Do you
It's
think
Snyder.
the Flash is ever going to see the light of day?
I guess not.
Man,
I
My-
thought there was already a movie.
no,
Oh.
no.
There is no Flash movie at all? I thought there was one.
There was a television show back in the 90s, and then the show today. There's a few animated movies, but no live-action Flash movie. But since they started this whole DCEU,
No, then there
they've
will
tried.
be one. There will be one. My money's on that. There will be one. Sarah, $10?
Oh, wow. But will it be Ezra Miller? We don't know.
As what?
I said, but will it be Ezra Miller?
Oh.
Because this Flash movie was supposed to, back in like 2017, it was supposed to be a schedule to come out like in 2020, and then it was like 2021. Now it's like 2022, And now this is happening. They keep losing directors, and I don't know.
The boys told me The Conjuring 3 is coming out. Oh wait, is there 2? Yeah, there's 2. The third one.
The third one's supposed to come out this year.
This
sometime.
year. Yeah, and then Paranormal 7 next year.
What?
Yeah, Paranormal Activity 7.
Why?
Is it called The Paranormal Activity?
No, but if you watch the 6th one, there is room for the 7.
Ew.
Oh, wow. Apparently there was no more room for the XFL as they filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Good job, babe.
3 days after suspending operations and laying off all of its employees, the XFL filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy this past Monday, according to court records. The Reboot League canceled the remaining 5 weeks of the regular season last month due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. They filed the bankruptcy protection in Delaware and listed between $10 to $50 million in both estimated assets and liabilities. League said, quote, "Unfortunately, as a new enterprise, we were not insulated from the harsh economic impacts and uncertainties caused by the COVID-19 crisis. The move almost certainly spells the end for another spring football league, and it is the second iteration of the XFL under Vince McMahon, the original folding just one season back in 2001. The league suspended operations, but did express optimism of returning in 2021, and this marks the second league in 2 years to close its doors and not completing their first season. Last spring, the Alliance of American Football filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy after late arriving investor Tom Duncan decided to cease operations. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there are 2 leagues that folded before their seasons concluded. I want to say the Alliance of American Football was going into Week 9 when they pulled the plug, but that was because of shoddy funds. This late investor who swooped in, I want to say like Week 4 or 5, wanted to seemingly see an immediate turnaround on his investment, and by Week 9, that just wasn't going to happen because that's not how this works.
Yeah.
If you're going to launch a football league, you're going to see at least 2 to 3 seasons of no profit, and if you survive, then you start to turn this thing around.
That's like any business investment.
Yeah.
Because especially with the field I work in,
yeah,
and my boss, her being an owner and opening her place of business,
mm-hmm.
they told her it's going to take you 3 years.
So before you start seeing positive profit. Yeah.
Yeah. And her ex-husband did not get it. He wanted immediate profit within a year. And she says, that's not going to happen. And now she's banking.
Oh, there you go. And he's gone?
Yep. She just got the business back when it's profitable. Well, now she's making it profitable because for a while he was not making it.
Okay, so once they installed the foosball table, that's when things turn around.
Totally.
Man, this is a money maker. People waiting for the massages they go to the foosball table.
It's $1 a game, and they just have it.
Yeah, forget the couches and the coffee table. Put the foosball table there.
No, it's actually not $1. It's $3.
Oh,
this is not $19.99.
Oh wow!
Gotta make some money.
All right.
Yeah, so minimum wage shouldn't be $7.25 anymore. I'm just saying.
Wow. Okay.
You like how quickly I started betting with Sarah?
He has a problem, and he thinks I'm going to give in.
Sarah, did you think about it?
No.
Sarah's like, if things were different, I would be gambling Nick's money. But joke's on me, he doesn't have it. And I'm like, hey, you know what you're getting into.
My buddy Javier was like, we play this game where you spread out all the cards. It's called High Card. Have I told you about that?
No.
Mm-hmm.
So you just spread all 52 cards face down, and you pick one card to go against his card. And we both pick one card, and then the highest card wins. It's super random.
And you win like what, $1?
Whatever you want to bet.
Oh, wow.
So
that seems super easy and fun.
it is so much fun and so addicting because you can like, okay, so like if Sarah go for, and we go for $5, right? I pick a king, she gets an ace. Like, what are the odds that she got the one card higher than me, right?
Yeah.
So then I say we'll go double or nothing, and you just keep going until.
God damn it! I come home and Sarah's like, "How'd you do?" I lost $17. Oh, that's not so bad. Sarah, I was playing nickels. And I lost $17.
So my buddy Javier
I'll gamble
was like,
the piggy bank. No.
There you go. It's like, oh, and I can't drive my car for the next month. It's still mine, but for the next month, it's his. So my buddy Javier was like, whenever he heard about the stimulus check, he was like, high card for $1,200.
No.
Wow.
I was like, you're joking. Like, actually, no. My immediate response is, where are you at? But obviously, that would be very irresponsible.
No.
No, I should have bet when we were watching the pay-per-view because just somewhere in my gut, I knew the pay-per-view that he lost was Super Showdown. I just knew it. And I should have.
Oh, that's right.
Or no, Stomping Ground. And I was like, Sarah, you should. I finally would have won something. I totally didn't.
So close, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Last week, I went ahead and introduced a segment called #BecauseFlorida. And in there,
sign accurate.
Yeah, and I believe the first story involved a woman or a person that was distributing pornographic images inside Easter eggs. They found her.
That's right.
They caught the person.
They caught her.
They did. So the update for last week's story in #BecauseFlorida is that there was a woman accused of leaving porn in eggs. A Palm Coast woman was arrested after she reportedly put plastic Easter eggs filled with pornographic images in mailboxes. Her name is Abril Sestoni, and she was arrested by police shortly after making a deposit to a mailbox. In a chest cam video that was recorded, the lady can be heard saying, quote, "I'm authorized to do research." Cop, "You're authorized to distribute pornographic material?" Abril, "I am authorized to do research. My organization is research." She claimed to be part of a church that also ranted against churches, claiming the explicitly sexual pictures in the eggs were her way of calling out church leaders and believed to be engaging in illicit behavior. So there you go.
So they're a church that goes against churches?
In a matter of words, yes.
So...
Look, your eyebrow just danced like...
I automatically thought atheism? But... No.
But no matter what type of church you're in, doesn't it warrant pornographic images?
I mean, does one go for Bible burning? Because didn't one church do that?
Is it the Westboro Church?
Yes, them.
Oh, I have no idea.
Those guys are infamous.
Dude.
But at least the police have cracked the case on the pornographic Easter eggs.
Good job.
Check this out.
I feel bad for those cops that have to work there.
Yeah.
I want to go ahead and reiterate again. I'm not trying to make fun of Florida, but when I randomly looked into random stories that happen in Florida, I immediately found that update and then two more that I was like, oh shit.
I feel like 8 out of 10 stories were Florida man, Florida woman.
Yeah.
#BecauseFlorida, and this is taken straight from their headline.
Oh,
Florida.
I'm so sorry.
What?
When you said making a deposit,
oh wow, Sarah.
I thought Humpty Dumpty.
Wow. And of course, there's no context as to whatever that is.
No,
Okay.
it's an inside tape.
Yeah, I mean, should we share? What
It's
is it?
about the rusty, what is it?
The
When you're getting a blowjob while taking a
No.
dump.
Oh, wow.
No.
I forgot all about that.
No, our Humpty Dumpty is pooping,
Yeah.
but we used to call it making a deposit. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Making a deposit.
yeah.
And I wanted to bet you on the woman's name. I thought she was going to be a Carol.
Oh, wow.
No,
You
she's
just
a
wanna-
Karen.
You just want to bet everything.
Why not, bro?
Because we broke right now.
No. I know. It's just actually like sometimes I'll bet Javier and I'll win and he'll be like, no, don't worry about it. I just wanted the thrill.
Wow.
He'd do that sometimes.
Wow. #BecauseFlorida. A Florida woman has a nicotine fit when no one would give her a cigarette. A woman said she swung a metal pipe at passing vehicles because she was having a nicotine fit and was upset that none of the drivers would stop and give her a cigarette. Deputies called to the scene on Easter Sunday found Amy Hunt swinging a 3-foot-long metal pole at vehicles as they passed by and even forced some of them to swerve. Amy was asked by police to stay out of the road and stop swinging the pole, but a short time later she was doing it again and forced 3 drivers to swerve. Deputies said Hunt resisted and tried to get free and run away while being handcuffed. She was arrested on charges of disorderly conduct and resisting law enforcement officers without violence. So there you go.
That's a new version of hangry.
Having a nicotine fit.
Wow.
I want to hear the audio to this.
And her solution, let me grab this pipe and start swinging it at oncoming traffic.
But don't know when she was almost apprehended and she tried to get away. Like, I want to hear the audio.
And then I found this one, #BecauseFlorida. A Florida man in jail beat his cellmate who asked for a courtesy flush. According to Monroe County Sheriff's Office in Florida, an argument over passing gas and a request for a courtesy flush led to a man being beat by his cellmate. While on the toilet, one cellmate asked for the flush to help with the overbearing smell. After taking offense, one man rose from the seat and kicked his cellmate who was laying on the bottom bunk. He then grabbed his cellmate by the throat and threw him across the cell before deputies came and detained him, records show. The victim, who was in jail for violating his DUI and drug-related probation, suffered 3 broken ribs and a broken nose. The aggressor is facing battery-related charges for the incident.
So he hadn't wiped.
No. He was probably still pooping.
He got up, balls, dick out still, and went and made sure this guy couldn't smell anymore.
When I was reading the article, I did look around, and of course, even if he was, open like that, they weren't gonna write that in the article. And I was like, I just want to make sure. I looked up and down that article twice. There was no hint that he pulled up his pants or wiped.
They could have said if he did, they would have said that they're like, so the man cleaned himself and put his clothes back on. It doesn't take long to just say he cleaned himself or adjusted or put his pants on. You know?
Or after completion, he kicked his ass.
Mm-hmm.
No, he couldn't wait.
Never in my life have I taken that much of offense. And when you go to work or something, maybe at your jobs it was different. But like I've been in places where there's large restrooms and there's many stalls. I worked in a warehouse. I worked at Walmart. I know how this works. And sometimes, man, you just walk in and you think
restroom only has stalls, so I'm sure that she's seen more stalls.
Yeah,
than
but
me.
women don't poop though.
They do. like women in general, you mean?
Yeah, like the female species does not poop.
I had to go to the women's
All of that-
restroom several times as a manager because somebody passed out or something. There was an attack in the restroom, the women's restroom.
Yeah.
And it stunk more than the men's.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there are times when I've walked into men's rooms at my job or something and you just think, how is the paint not peeling in here? If I lit a match, I'd be a dead man. That's
Or if it had wallpaper. My God.
So yeah, imagine being that dude. You whatever street cred you may have had in the pin is gone.
Oh yeah.
You got your ass whooped by a dude with his pants down and shit all up in his business.
If he had to lift his leg to push his face in.
Okay, so I can assume, is the guy still on the John when his friend is like, or cellmate's like, hey dude, can you give me a courtesy flush? Because he kicks him in the face. So does that mean the guy laying on the bunk is laying with his head near the toilet where the dude is? Where
I'm
he
sure
could just
it's
throw
not
his...
that far away.
Well,
it's
yeah.
not like they're in a luxury pen.
But I mean, come on, help yourself out a little bit. Don't lay on the bed with your head next to the toilet. Flip.
Well, the story said that he got up.
Okay, but he did kick the... Okay, did he get up and kick the guy?
He says he got up and then went and kicked him. Yeah.
Okay.
So he got up. No, so it could have been pretty far, but still was like, all right, I'm getting up.
I'll show you.
What he didn't say is he got up and wiped. He said just got up.
Oh man, Sarah, do you have stuff to talk about in this random junk drawer? This was intended to be a junk drawer episode, and then the XFL went underneath, and I was like, oh my god.
Okay, I'll skip the.
You look so different with your hair.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, Sarah. She colored her hair.
When you cut it, you look like a different person, and now, you look like another different person.
I love doing that.
But I know it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever shaved half of it?
No, I will never do that.
Oh, okay.
My scalp is too precious.
What if
What
we
about
made
underneath?
What if
Nope.
we made a
Still leave?
bag?
No. Okay. What?
Only Gaga can do that.
I said, what if we made a bag?
No,
Oh, okay.
I'm not a gambling woman.
Okay. Would you ever go for a mohawk?
No,
She just said no.
No, I mean she could keep all her hair. Just stand that son bitch up.
no.
That's not a.
But I do want to know how the Brits do it because I feel like they've done it best. I need to know what kind of hair gel and hairspray they use.
Do you remember that pro wrestler, Book of Dilligaff? He was the Matt Hardy version 1. Shannon Moore?
Shannon Moore.
He, at one point in his career, did a mohawk, and that son of a bitch stood pretty tall.
bet.
And I'd always wondered what he did to wrestle and have his hair stand. And Sheamus did it too.
Sheamus.
Yeah.
Sheamus was very good at it too.
Yeah, I don't know what they use, but yeah, to go in there and do full wrestling matches and still have the mohawk intact, that's pretty impressive.
I feel like the gel I used back in the day, when I would touch it, that bitch was hard. So I'm sure they just did the same thing, just a bunch of gel and then air dry it, blow dry it, and then more gel, blow dry it, more gel, blow dry it until it's like the tip.
That's very true. Pauly D still does it from Jersey Shore.
Wow.
And that thing will not move.
He still has a mohawk?
Well, no, he still has the really
Just
spiky
the
hair.
Styled hair.
Oh,
Spiky, yeah.
He
okay.
does the hair gel and the hairspray, blow dries it, and does it again.
Wow. Okay. He uses a whole can each time.
Probably.
Maybe.
Wow.
The Long Island Medium did. She used a whole can of hairspray, I think.
Okay, yeah, just go ahead and give us some random facts.
All right. So when you were born, you were, for a brief moment, the youngest person on Earth.
Oh,
That's cool.
Yeah.
that is true, yeah.
Yeah. This one's my favorite because I believe it. The elements that we are composed of were formed in the interiors of collapsing stars. We are all made of stardust.
You know, when you say it like that,
There's no arguing.
I guess it's true.
See, we're all stars.
And this earth is so flat, it caught all of it.
Ew. Stop it.
I love when I hear stuff about the Earth being flat and you think of the solar system and you show all the planets and they're all spheres. And it's no question, they're all spheres. But then when you get to Earth,
Goodness forbid.
it's a disc.
It's a platform.
What the fuck?
And it's like, oh, that's what it looks like?
Yeah, explain that to me. Okay.
I said that immediately too. I don't know. Oh, my cousin was like, "It's flat, bro," and I was like, "So why do I walk outside and look at the moon and it's round?" And then he's like, "Not everything's the same." I'm like, "Well, I don't encourage you to do it, but when you look at the sun, it looks like the moon,
Right?
circle." But we're the only ones.
Okay. We really need to feel special. Cows are best friends. Or no, cows have best friends.
Who?
And I wanted to read that one again because I shared
Yeah.
that with Nick yesterday.
Yeah.
And it's because we saw two cows. One was they were both facing opposite directions, but they were touching one another. And one actually literally headbutt the other one. It was very cute.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't
Yeah.
even think
And when
of that.
if you just driving along and you just look at fields and they have cows and you see some of them mingling about, they are snuggling. Some of them are like, and it's not like, this is my young and it's snuggling with me. Like there are grown cows.
It looks like they're
snuggling
in
with me.
pairs or
Yeah.
like they're having, tea time.
Yeah. And so when we saw that, and I was like, did you see that cow? They were snuggling with each other. It was so cute.
It was very cute.
And then she said
but
they
it was
have
probably
best friends.
saying, "Don't poop on me."
Meredith, I'm back here.
And here we are. Oh, they're so cute.
They're very cute. A prison in Washington pairs up, quote, death row shelter cats with select inmates as part of a rehabilitation program. It seems to be a pretty wonderful thing for both inmates and the cats.
So they have cats that are in prison that are for the inmates to, like, be cool with?
I think they'll take them to the prison and then take them back to the shelter. That's what they do with the dogs.
Yeah, that are like stress dogs?
Yeah.
Or something like that? Oh.
They don't actually stay at the prison.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't trust them. I don't know. I mean, they're already in the shelter, so I guess it's not like you're taking your pet from home, you know? I don't know. I feel like one of them might be like, yeah, I'm going to beat the shit out of this dog because I want to.
Wow.
Because I'm already here for 99 plus years.
Dang. So I guess they're like, okay, to avoid this, let's distribute these pets or these animals to the inmates that have DUIs or tax evasion.
Well, these are death row inmates.
Oh.
And they're part of a rehabilitation program. So I think that's great. It's a good option. Blind people smile even though they've never seen anyone else smile.
Huh.
But then you have those people that are not all the way blind. Like, what's that famous guy who's blind but can actually see?
The what?
The black guy who's blind but but he can actually see.
Well,
Not Ray.
The other musician? The piano player?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What is his name?
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, there you go. Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, he can see.
What do you mean he can see? That
He's
goes
not
against
actually
I'm
blind.
gonna say that goes against the definition of blind.
No, I actually had a guy in my class. He was legally blind, but he could see silhouettes. And to actually read the books that we had, he literally had to be like this
Wow.
to get any kind of wording. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're dealing with somebody who's blind, be like, are you blind, or are you like level 7 blind, where there's still 3 more levels? You know?
There's
Like, are you legal or legit?
They're like, legal. They're not proud of it.
You know, now that I'm thinking about this, I remember years back, David used to talk about a indie wrestler who was legally blind, but he was a wrestler. So like he could still see. I don't think he was allowed to drive,
Yeah.
but it's like, oh wait, you can't drive a motor vehicle, but you're allowed to get in there and put someone's life in your hands like that, bro?
I mean, if you can kind of see the figure, you should be good. Like, okay, I can see it. Maybe like every now and then you get kicked in the face, you know? Why didn't you move? Bitch, I didn't see you coming.
Legally blind, bro. Come on. Okay, go ahead, sir.
Turtles can breathe through their butts.
Okay, you had mentioned that last week or the week before, and I wasn't sure if that was like, is it for real? Okay. How does that happen? How does that benefit them?
I guess that's how they stay underwater so long.
But
So
they breathe through their butts.
Because they don't have they don't have gills.
but they have a mouth and like don't they have? I'm sure I'm not an expert at all. I can't even think of like the nostrils, but I'm assuming if it's a mouth and eyes, there's nostrils as well.
Mm-hmm.
And yet now I'm thinking of the video that I saw on, I don't know if it was the Daily Show or something, but it was a turtle humping a croc, the shoe.
Ew.
And it was just on the thing and it was thrusting and it was quite amusing to watch.
It was going...
Yeah, those little. So wait, so when a turtle humps another turtle, it's actually getting a blowjob?
It's like...
Oh, because they breathe through their butts.
Oh.
So then that means the turtle's not getting humped, it's actually getting a blowjob.
Oh. Man, I don't know. See, Sarah, look, this is the can of worms that you open when you tell us turtles can breathe through their butts.
Squirrels plant thousands of new trees each year simply by forgetting where they put their acorns.
Oh, wow.
They are helping the ecosystem.
Irresponsible.
Oh, did you see that video that I sent you of the dodo? From that Instagram page about the baby squirrel?
Yeah, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh.
It kept breaking up.
Oh, so there was this baby squirrel that was on this dude's front lawn or pavement or whatever in his driveway. He picks it up, and I thought it was dead. But no, it was a baby squirrel, and it was just barely moving. He looked online, and it said try to reunite it with his mother. So he's like, well, okay. So what he did is he used duct tape in a box and a towel, put the white towel in the box, put the baby on top of that, and then duct tape the box to the tree where the baby had fallen from. And then he sat out there and watched, and he saw the mother squirrel come down with her tail flipping and flapping. And then she looked around, and then she went back into the box and then went up and then came back, grabbed the baby, and then went all the way back up to the top of the tree.
Aww.
And then that was that. And he was like, I did my good deed for the day.
No.
Then the squirrel dropped the baby from the top of the tree.
Wow.
I was like, oh, you're no good.
Wow. He's like, you smell like a human. Get out.
They do it Midsommar style.
But it was sweet.
You know Norway knighted a penguin?
I'm assuming like at one of their water shows.
It's one of those things. I knight thee, Sir Penguinigus Lanimus.
And then it waddled away.
I would totally knight a penguin.
Now I want to know like the rest of the story.
Well, you don't get that. I'm sorry.
These are birds. Like they can't even look at you straight in the face. They have to sideways look at you.
You gotta love Norway.
I wonder how they got the penguin to stand there long enough to knight the penguin.
Like they do with the. Oh, sorry.
In China, killing a panda is punishable by death.
And deservedly so.
Yeah.
They're fucking adorable.
Yes, they are.
By death.
Rats laugh when tickled. Aww.
Okay, so
Who is tickling a rat?
Well, a pet rat.
okay.
I had a cousin
Do
who.
people have pets?
Yeah, I had
rats
a-
as pets?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I had a cousin who would have 2 pet rats at a time, but they only lived for 2 years.
So, but they were able to grab it and touch it.
Yeah, they were very sweet.
So how does a rat show affection? Like, do they understand that, oh, this is my caregiver? Because rats, like cats and dogs, they give kisses by licking. Mm-hmm. Do rats do the same thing? Like, can we assume, oh, this is a gesture of love? They kissed me.
I'm picturing a squirrel when they do this thing where they grab both, hands and go over their head and their ears and stuff.
Yeah.
But that's a squirrel.
I don't know.
Oh, the voices of Mickey and Minnie Mouse, they got married in real life.
Aw.
I love that.
Did Mickey and Minnie actually get married?
That's what I just said.
No, I mean like the characters
Oh.
themselves.
No.
They never did. Okay.
Because Disney doesn't believe in that.
Well, I mean, if they did get together, one of them would have to die. Because isn't that usually how it works?
Yeah.
Put in any random Disney movie, the mother, there's always like a single parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if Mickey and Minnie got married, had a kid, one of them has to die.
Dolphins have names for each other.
Yakety yak. What else? What are they?
I don't know.
Oh.
How they communicate.
She's like, I don't speak dolphin, bro.
Have you ever seen that episode of Family Guy where they have dolphins talking? And
I want to say I did.
And they're black actors. Hey man, you ever heard like that? And
Yeah.
It's just two dolphins poking their head out of the water, but that's how they're talking. They're talking like two bros, like. And
I want to say I've seen the episode, but I can't remember. Is that the episode where the dolphins also came out of the water and started an army invasion?
no,
Okay, was that The Simpsons?
that's the Simpsons.
That was
yeah.
okay. Wow. All right, never mind.
Kissing burns 2 calories and undressing burns 8.
Huh?
I think dressing should count. Because that can get fucking difficult for girls.
So kissing 2 calories, I guess, is because you hold your breath, or the breathing is changed a little bit. Why would kissing?
I have no idea. I would imagine any act that you do burns some form of calorie because you have to do stuff. You have to do everything.
There's movement.
Yeah, but to know that kissing and undressing specifically burns 2 and 8 calories.
Yeah.
But yet there's no mention of, the struggle of putting on a pair of pants.
Right. Because, man, when I'm in a dressing room, I get hot.
Well, I mean, girls, because y'all wear them tight, like they're
Dude.
to look great. But we don't. We just
Well, I know there's a fair share of the male population that wear jeans tighter than that of women.
some men, not all men.
Okay. Well, there's a big guy that I work with that chooses to wear skinny jeans. I don't know why.
I mean, I have some jeans that are pretty tight, but when at the waist, they're not tight.
Okay.
I'll end off with this one.
All right.
Puffins mate for life. They make their homes on cliff sides and even leave some separate room for their toilet.
What is a puffin?
That was my question.
Oh, it's like a little baby
Penguin.
something. Yeah, it looks like a penguin.
Like a penguin duck.
Yeah.
It's a penguin and a duck. And they fit. And they made a puffin. Anyone out there, just Google puffin and you'll see one of the cutest birds that you've
It
ever
leads
seen.
them to a porn site. Puffin. Puffin for the muffin? No.
Yeah, I was about to say puffinforthemuffin.com or puff muffin, which kind of also sounds like a pastry website. Puff muffin.
But we were telling them to go puffin.
Yeah.
So puff muffin is for something with bakery.
Yeah.
But puffin muffin leads you to like
It could be a narcotics website where they sell cannabis based out in California.
with porn. It says more related videos and it's just a bunch of porn, but they specialize in a specific type of
Yeah,
porn.
it's all for your cannabis needs and more. You're like, oh, I wonder what the and more is.
You like weed, then you must like this type of porn.
Wow. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we ride off into the sunset?
I think Sarah wants to talk about porn.
No.
No? You don't? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, wow. No, okay. I've always wondered, way back in the day, during the VHS era, why were pornographic tapes in ungodly sized boxes? Like, you think of a normal VHS tape sleeve, and then you think of Disney with their clamshells.
Extra.
They're giant. But then porn movies dwarfed Disney clamshells completely. It was like as big as the monitor of this laptop. Why? You can't put that on a shelf. You can't. What are you supposed to do with that?
I didn't know that. Is that for real?
Yeah, they were huge. They'd come like something like this.
And then and inside is just still the regular
And inside
VHS.
is like a big box that form fits to a VHS tape.
I didn't know that.
I've always wondered. Always.
Let me bring this up. So,
Okay.
do you like how... So, Nick was telling me about y'all's political talk earlier. Mm-hmm. He did such in-depth research on finding these charts and whatever these connections to presidents and yada yada. We're watching Community the other day, and one of the characters is in this automatic wheelchair that when you blow into this tube, you control your chair. And he asked me, how do those work? I said, I don't know, honey. And he says, well, I've thought about it for a very long time. I said, and you haven't Googled it? He says, well, no. I'm thinking, well, then just Google it. Like I did the waterbed. I finally remembered what became of the waterbed and what is up with it. And then I found out. But no, he's not that interested as he was in your political talk. Because goddamn, this guy could do research. But on the one thing that's been bugging him for decades,
Yeah. Okay. So this guy, he has injured legs, and so he's in this wheelchair, and there's like this straw thing, and he blows into it, and he could go forward, back. He goes anywhere he wants to, and I'm like, he's not like his hands are not touching joysticks.
But he does have a joystick.
Yeah, he does. But then I thought, okay, for individuals who are crippled from the neck down, that's how they get around on these chairs. They blow into them. How does the chair know where to turn? Because I would imagine you blow, you go forward. You suck, maybe you go backwards. I don't know. I don't know how this works. But then it's like, how does the straw also work as a left and right, depending if all you do is blow into the straw?
If all you're doing is blowing, then that's what the joystick is for.
But
once
if
you blow, then
if you can't move your hands, if you're crippled from the neck down, and you can't move a joystick with your fingers, again, how does the chair work? Because
are you sure?
Yeah, because when Christopher Reeve broke his back, he was crippled from the neck down, and he needed one of those chairs that you blew into. And I think it was around that time that I was like, how does that chair turn? How does it? And I've never done any research. And there's probably some people out there, and they're like, man, you're a fucking idiot, man. The science is blah, blah, blah.
Maybe you tongue it.
Maybe. I don't know. I have seen in movies there was like a joystick where people would nudge it with their chin, and that's how they would go left and right. But then there's the ones with just a straw, and I'm just befuddled.
You tongue it. Take it to the bank.
Short answer, you tongue it. Sarah, what do you think? Is it magic?
You're just lazy.
I am not lazy.
You're lazy for that, because obviously you're not lazy, because you invested all of your time today, not all of your time, but some of your time today to find these charts to have this political talk with Manuel. When you were talking
to me with those charts, you were looking them up as you were talking to me. You didn't come prepared, right?
No, I was at work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I found myself in a situation where I was like, okay, I could look this up real quick.
Okay.
Real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to see visually how everything played out.
But just on the couch, he could have done the same thing.
I know, but I was watching Community. God, Sarah, keep up.
With an easy pause.
He wasn't getting paid to do something else.
Easy,
to do this.
An easy pause is your answer for everything. Also, it's like, Sarah, can you do this? I can't. Kitty's in my lap.
An easy pause is your answer to everything.
Yeah. Well, no, I've been saying kitty in my lap is an easy answer that she gives for a lot of stuff. Mostly it's
Same
like.
with you for Sally.
Yeah, but Sally's old.
I thought Sarah was going to be like sex.
Sally's old. God. And so,
No, you'll say, come on, honey, let's go. I'll be like, but Kitty's on me. I can't move her.
Pause.
I'll be like, come on, Sarah, let's go make dinner. Now you tell me Kitty's on my lap. And I'm like, oh my God.
Well, it's true.
And it's usually like she got in her lap like 10 seconds before. And I'm just like, move her. She's not even settled yet. And then Kitty goes plump. It's like, oh, she's settled now. Oh, God. Lord forbid we move these cats once they get settled in our laps.
No, goodness forbid if you nudge even a little bit with Sally on your lap. Because whatever we were doing on the couch, watching TV, or you were playing your game or something, she crawls and she gets settled on you. And you're like, oh, but my food. Oh, but my drink. Oh, but the game controller. Oh, but the TV remote. I'm like... So, yeah, I started using that excuse, too.
And then, like, when you barely move with Sally, she's like, nope, nope, nope. And I'm like, Sally, don't jump down. And then she gets down. And she's, like, all mad at me. And I'm like, oh, God. Like, the other night, she was in my lap. And the way I had my legs situated, my right knee started to hurt. I needed to straighten it. And I was like, but if I straighten it, she's going to get mad at me. And so I did it. And Sally got mad and she jumped down.
Whereas Kitty adapts.
Yeah, Kitty's like, oh, you going to move? You going to move? Would you stop moving? Sally's like, I ain't having it. I'm done.
I shouldn't have sat here.
And then I feel like an asshole because I'm like, I should have just sucked it up. My knee was hurting, but so what? She was comfortable. But this is,
yeah.
But you don't have any cats, so I mean, you maybe you don't understand. I don't know.
Maybe.
Welcome to our bickering corner.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, just
our ridiculousness.
It degenerated from topics and all this stuff to me, and then on Manuel, all he hears is.
No,
back and forth.
I'm following.
All right, so we're probably going to record another episode here in another day or two, and we're going to drop that episode for Sunday. And on that episode, we are going to discuss 5 to 10 movies, each of us, of what we would recommend those of you stuck at home during this quarantine can watch to help pass the time. All right? Do you think you come up with 5 or 10?
Yeah.
So, like some of your favorite movies of all.
Yeah.
All right. And they could be virus related or whatever it is, or not. And Sarah, do you think you could come up with 5 or 10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't sound very confident in that.
Well, I was just telling him earlier, I'm pretty positive I could do 5. I don't think I can do 10.
And I was like, you don't have 10 movies that you feel you can just watch and be like, yeah.
No.
Wow.
5 though, maybe.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
She was like, it's a stretch.
I told him I don't watch movies.
Maybe, yeah. I guess the most movies she's ever watched has probably been with me.
Yes.
She's like Ghost.
I thought you were talking about the band.
Oh, God.
You know, I gotta say,
again, no movies.
when we finally saw Ghost with you, that was a good choice. I was so ready to hate that movie, and the movie was actually pretty good.
It was actually referenced in Community.
Yes, it was. There was a pottery class, and the whole episode was riffing on.
And that instructor loved Ghost. Every rule was about Ghost.
Oh,
all right.
I think he actually said no ghosting.
Yeah. Don't sing the song. Don't do nothing because he will fail you or whatever it was. All right. So we will see you next time here on the Six Sad Cast. And until then, his name is Manuel, my name is Nick, and her name was Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.